So since the 2016, Chinese government and they locked down more than 3 million Uyghur Muslims in the 21st century concentration camp. And now as the people and subjected to torture, physical torture, psychological torture, indoctrinated in the concentration camp, and forced to and denounce national and the religious identity of them. And also they show the loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party and Xi Jinping, even or tradition. People before the after eating, we have to try and make dua to the Allah, thanks for the Allah give us this water, this food. But no, you have to pray to the Xi Jinping, and after the eating or before the eating, oh thanks Xi Jinping, thanks Communist Party, you give us this water, this food. Without Chinese Communist Party, without Xi Jinping, no life. You have to repeatedly on this, and you have to show the loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party and Xi Jinping. If you not cooperate, then you will be and physical torture, maybe, and so that's why quite a lot of people died in the concentration camp. Last 4 or 5 years, we have a lot of contact with the family member, not in the camp. And also outside. That's why very, very difficult to get the information from the camp, what was really going on. But some camp survivors, because of the foreign citizen, but Uyghur origin, Kazakh origin, but they are foreign citizens. That's why they are really intervention by the country. They are camp survivors and they explain what was happening in the camp. That's all I'm saying, the story by the camp survivor. And also, I have some personal story. My mother died in one of the concentration camps. She was 78 years old. She stayed in one of the camps and she died 2018. And this is the story. And my father passed away 2020. This news. And my younger brother sentenced to life. My older brother sentenced 24 years. This old news I got through the 4 years. This is the news. If something was happening as a family, we got it. But normally, I still have no idea how many family members in my family still alive, how many family members already died, how many family members in the concentration camp. I have no idea. This old news I told already. My mother's father passed away, my brother's sentence. I learned only from the Chinese media or some international media. This is the story, and my story is not unique. All Uyghurs who live in Israel have a similar problem today, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry for your loss and the loss of all the Uyghur people and the hardship that they are undergoing under the Chinese government. But coming back to the issue around the protest march, the protesters are saying that, and we do understand that Turkey is home to 50,000 Uyghurs with whom the Turks have ethnic, religious, and linguistic ties, making it the largest Uyghur diaspora outside of Central Asia. So that is, in fact, the place or the right place to be having this protest march. And the protesters are calling and saying that China does not have the right to host the Olympics while committing all the torture, cruelty, and genocide against Uyghurs. And you've just outlined that you yourself have direct family members who are in these camps. You've lost your father, your mother, and your brothers. One brother is in prison for 24 years, the other one for life. Do you believe that these type of actions will put pressure on the Chinese government to start treating the Uyghurs better, to give them their freedom, to give them self-determination in that part of the world? Because basically that is what they want, is it not?
Yeah, so as we talk and know, and Uyghur community, not only Uyghur community and Tibetan Hong Kongers, we have a coalition. This coalition have been trying to call boycott Beijing Olympic, and also we have approaching to the Olympic Committee, International Olympic Committee, stop the Beijing Olympic because no Chinese Communist Party, Chinese government commits genocide against the Uyghurs. So, and the Uyghur Tribunal in London make judgment, and December 9, they are they are working hard to collect evidence. More than 18 months, they collected 100,000 page document, more than 500 witness testimony, and also so many international media reports. And so far, eight countries parliament officially recognize Chinese atrocity against Uyghur is genocide and crime against humanity, and the camp survival report. So there is no excuse for International Olympic Committee continue hiding political naturalism. So we approaching International Olympic Committee, and we even did talk with the official of the International Olympic Committee, explain everything, but International Olympic Committee continue determine the holding Beijing Olympic 2022 next week will be starting. So we call government should be diplomatic boycott, and athletes should be not be attending. So I believe every human being, every country, every organization, every media institution have an obligation. Country should have legal obligation to stop the genocide and stop the Beijing Olympic. And athletes should have a bit and their moral obligation should not be attending as this Olympic, and the media should not be sending Beijing Olympic, and because it is not institution, not human rights violation or something like this. Is a genocide. 1936 Olympic Committee made mistake during the Nazi regime. Olympic Committee was taking place in the Nazi region in Germany, and the Olympic Committee whole human being and the whole it was a mistake, is a historical mistake, but historical mistake repeated again today. So we are trying to use all our capacity, reaching out. We call the countries, we call the athletes, we call the media, we call the company who sponsor for the Beijing Olympics. Stop the support. Anyone who joins this Beijing Olympics, anyone supports Beijing Olympics, it is means supports genocide. So that's why every institution, every human being has some obligation to stop the Uyghur genocide and should not be supporting the Beijing Olympics. If who supports it, it is the complicity of the genocide. There is some countries, Thailand meaning it supports the genocide. So that's why, of course, after all coalition and all campaigns stop the Beijing Olympics had some impact. That's why so far I believe 12 countries already officially announced the diplomatic boycott. Some athletes also and announced don't joining it, but not enough. Still majority and still quite a lot of countries, Thailand or some country already announced willing to joining it. If it's joining, it will support complicity of genocide, but all duty, all work, we continue doing our work until and the Olympic Committee. This is not also one thing I would like to emphasize. This is not Olympic Games. This Beijing Olympic is not Olympic. This is the genocide games. We never call it the Olympic Games. It is genocide game. Yeah, genocide game. So this is our reaction. And we continue doing our advocacy. We continue doing and the campaign at the last until last minute.
Okay, you've also, as far as your advocacy work is concerned, we know that Turkey is home to about 50,000 Uyghurs, and part of that advocacy work is that you, as or the Turkish Uyghurs have criticized Ankara's policy to China. They have actually spoken to the Turkish government, and the foreign minister has responded saying that he has conveyed Turkey's views, expectations, and sensitivities about the Uyghurs' treatment to his Chinese counterparts during talks in Beijing. Have you had any response to those talks? What has the Chinese told the Turkish foreign minister?
Well, you are right. There is after Central Asia and in Turkey in the second largest Uyghur diaspora living today. So we have a culturally, historically, linguistic ties with the Turkish people, and we have a strong support by the Turkish people. But we cannot face, and the Turkish government have the same position with the Turkish people on the Uyghur issue. And okay, understandable for the situation, but the government is sometimes and openly and they support the Uyghur issue. And for example, October last year in the United Nations, 43 countries jointly issued jointly statement and they condemning Chinese policy against Uyghurs. At that time, first time Turkish government and signed this jointly letter. This is a good development, but it's not good enough. As I said, we have a linguistic, cultural, religious, we have a strong ties with the Turkish people and Turkey. So Turkish government, this time Foreign Minister Çavuşoğlu visit China, we have a talk. There is some interesting issue. And both sides have a difference of media and outlets. And the Chinese government and speaking to the media different of view. But Turkish foreign ministry speaking different. Turkish foreign ministry reported and tweeted saying we discuss Uyghur issue, but the Chinese government can never mention on this. So both sides have different of view. But what was the real issue? What is the Chinese government's response? Question of the Turkish Prime Minister, we don't know. Both sides didn't say anything on the detail of their conversation.
Okay, according to a report that I have here, it says that Beijing rejects genocide and the existence of forced labor camps in Xinjiang and has accused Uyghurs of being paid liars for testifying about circumstances in the northwestern region. However, after initially denying their existence, China later defended the camps as vocational training centers intended at diminishing the attractions of extremism. Your thoughts?
Yes, so China is changing the narrative time to time. China, until end of 2018, denied everything, saying, "Oh, we don't have any kind such a camp or training center, nothing." China denied until 2018. There is nothing, something not like that. After so many media reported and the expert reported and quite a lot of countries made pressure to the Chinese government, UN experts made the testimony, then China and realized cannot hide in the reality anymore. Then changing narrative, saying, "Oh, this is yes, we have such a center, but it is not concentration camp or detention center. It is vocational training center. We are training the people and we provide them a better future. But there is 100,000 intellectual, professional, professional football players, singers. There are no need to vocational training. And several international NGOs, even World Uyghur Congress, we have also published more than 480 intellectuals' names. There are no need to vocational training. Some people, like my mother, already retired, 78 years old lady or man, no need to vocational training. So Chinese government after that cannot and continue hiding the realities and changing narrative. Oh, we're fighting terrorism and radicalism, So, and the quite a lot of country in the experts saying there's no need because some Chinese Communist Party member was Uyghur origin and the former official. There are no need any, and there are no have any link with the radicalism on the terrorism because they are cooperating with the Chinese government since many years. What is this issue? So Chinese government time to time changing narrative, and today it is 3 million Uyghur Muslim, Uyghur people, and in the concentration camp. There are no, and there are, I believe, quite a lot of percentage of these people very cooperative and high-level Chinese government officials, but because their crime only ethnicity, because they are Uyghur, because they are Muslim. This is the reason. So China trying to push them to denounce national identity. If the Uyghur being Chinese, then there's no problem like this. This is the main purpose of the Chinese government, Xi Jinping's purpose.
Okay, according to United Nations experts and human rights groups like yourself, has been saying that the world, Turkic countries and Islamic countries need to wake up. China is committing genocide right now. They are deceiving the rest of the world, and we as human rights groups want these Olympic Games to be boycotted as soon as possible. More than 1 million people, mostly from the Uyghur and other Muslim minorities, have been held in these concentration camps in recent years. I'm wondering if the Olympic, if it's being boycotted, if athletes stay away, is a strong enough message going to get across to China? Do you believe that by these type of protests, the Uyghur people will eventually be able to be self-determined, self-governed, and get their own state without any interference from China?
Yes, it is very if the athletes and the award to joining, and if the award and the athletes don't join the Olympics, Beijing genocidal games, and more country and called diplomatic boycott. This is very useful in this and a strong message to the Chinese government cannot continue and genocide against the Uyghurs. This is the we wish. Only small, very few countries make diplomatic boycott, and the few athletes announced not to joining. But most of them countries continue joining it, and most of them athletes continue joining this Beijing Olympics. This gives the wrong message to China. This is the message like and encourage Chinese government for its ongoing genocide. So that's why, and anyone, any organization, or any athlete, any country to join in for the Beijing Olympics, then it is mean encourage Chinese government genocidal policy. So that's why, and we asking the country, say don't give wrong message, don't encourage the Chinese government, because China saying, look, some country is diplomatic boycott, some athletes and they don't join, but majority continue with us. This China misuse for the Olympic. That's the wish. So if the country continue, or athlete or anyone, and also sponsors and company continue cooperate with the Chinese government, that's why I'm saying this is the complicity. This is the complicity of this genocide. This is the supporter, something that like supporter. It is a time and no silence, because genocide is going on. Silence meaning is support for genocide.
Dolkun Isa, we as the South African Muslim community continue making dua and support the Uyghur people. We thank you, Dolkun Isa, for talking with us today out of Germany. That's where you live. You are the president of the World Uyghur Congress and vice president, Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization. Go well. Duas with you and the Uyghur people. Assalamu alaikum from South Africa.
Thank you very much. I use this opportunity. I would like to call as a Muslim country, Muslim athlete, should be understand the situation, because there is more than 20 million, 25 million Uyghur Muslim Kazakh Muslims are suffering. This is a legal obligation, and this obligation of all Ummah should not support the Chinese government. Should be standing with the Uyghur in this difficult time.
Inshallah, Ameen. It is 9:40 a.m. exactly. News and views right here on Salam Media.